Hello, everyone. I'm Aromantic, and for anyone who doesn't know what that means I don't experience any romantic attraction. And sometimes I envy people that do experience romantic attraction. And the reason for that is because sometimes I wish I could get into a relationship with someone and able to understand what that feeling is that they feel towards me, and sometimes I envy my friends for being in a relationship because I always see how happy they are getting into relationships, and since I was a kid, I always wanted to be in a romantic relationship and have that feeling that people typically have. And I know to some people that probably seem ridiculous that I would envy that, and the reason I always wanted that since I was a kid, because I always grew up being told that when you get older that you need to have a career and be in a relationship and start a family, and if you don't do all those three in life, you'll never be fully fulfilled in life. And sometimes, honestly, sometimes I'm ashamed of being aromantic and wish I had those romantic feelings. So then, if I ever get into another relationship, then I feel like if I don't have the romantic attraction, I can't truly fulfill what my partner wants from a spouse. And sometimes, whenever I was in a relationship in the past, and whenever I look back into those relationships, sometimes I kind of do feel like I robbed my partner of the romantic connection that they generally do deserve and generally should have in their life. And honestly, because I don't have romantic attraction, I do sometimes feel guilty for having sexual attraction, because I know no matter how hard I try, and believe me, in my past relationships, I have tried having romantic attraction, and no matter what I do in my life, I just notice that it just never, I just never could feel the way any of my partners felt towards me in that sense. And I have had partners who told me that they were really upset about when I left them. And even though I do generally feel bad for them, I always just wish I could be mentally emotionally there for them, in the sense of how they felt towards me when I left. That same type of heartbreak that people tend to have, how I always describe the heartbreak is it's kind of that it was always it's like if you lost part of yourself, and the part of yourself that will never come back. I don't know if that made sense to anyone. Sorry for my laughing. I tend to laugh a little bit when I'm like get a little bit nervous or a little stressed. Sorry about that if that makes anyone uncomfortable. But yeah, sometimes like with a romantic attraction, like I either kind of wish in my life either I had a romantic attraction or I just never had any sexual attraction. And I am, even though I don't tell people that I'm aromantic, allosexual in my real life, like a lot of times, like when I do have attraction and people can tell I'm attracted to them, for me it always makes it uncomfortable, and I just notice it's always awkward having to like reject people because the friends that I tend to have that like I end up having any attraction to tend to like want to get into a relationship, and in some of the times when they want to when they do want to get in a relationship, when they can just tell that I'm attracted to them, a lot of times I just half the time I end up like losing friends because they usually feel degraded, and I never straight up just tell them that it's sexual attraction because I always feel like if I just straight up tell them that they'll probably just feel more bad about themselves, and I just and I just don't want them to feel more hurt at the end of the day, because I'm going to be for real with like my sexual attraction. It seemed like even my sexual attraction is not really like the normal person. It's in the sense of, for me, it kind of just seemed like, for me, I was just found like the way I am attracted to people, or just like, for me, I just kind of feels like it's like almost immortal in the sense of I just noticed like people tend to have attraction that is like based off personality of like, oh, they did this and that's why I'm drawn to them. Well, with mine it's like it just comes randomly. Like I just noticed no matter how close I am to someone or no matter what person does, I just naturally like drawn to them. Like basically, it's basically primal for me. And yes, I know to some people that probably sounds awful, but I'm gonna be for real. Like a lot of times, I like kind of wish I either I just never had any any sexual attraction, or I just kind of like wish romantic attraction was there. And yeah, this is something I like struggle with since since like 13 when puberty hit. But well, honestly, overall, like in the past couple of years, I just have like given up on any hope of romantic attraction, and just let it be what it be. Cause I just think like no matter what happens, if God wants me to not have romantic attraction, he would have made me like that in the first place. So at this point, it's like life is life. You can't control what you are. You can't control what you are, and just take life a day at a time and just hope for the best in life. Thank you for watching.